big old tears in her eyes, and I'm like, don't cry, you're making me cry. Just kind of stare off at the highway like, well, I'll never experience joy again, I don't think. It's a very scary thing for me because I listen to the radio and listen to a lot of what's working, and it's really hard to go against the grain, brother.
You covered Country Boy Can't Survive.
Yeah.
You have any Hank stories?
I got a great Hank story. He took me hunting one time.
Let's go.
It was my first hunting experience. I grew up in Arkansas, but I didn't grow up hunting. I grew up fishing. So we never had, my dad had a handgun. We didn't have any shotguns or anything like that because we never went hunting or anything. But so I was like, he said, I'm cutting this new show for CMT. And it's like Hank's Wildlife Outdoors something. And he's like, I'm going to take you hunting. And I'm like, that's great. This is going to be great. He's like, now you bring your own shotgun. We're going to go hunting turkeys. And I'm like, okay. So I had to go buy a shotgun. At that time, I wasn't into guns yet, and I was like, okay, all right, we're going to hunt for turkeys. I had to look up how to hunt for turkeys. And I was like, all right, apparently you got to get up really early in the morning, and you got to call the turkeys and all that. And I went out there with him, and I was such an idiot, dude. The night before our big hunt, everything's on camera, by the way. Everything's being filmed for CMT. And we don't know each other that well, but I'm just like gaga over him. I'm like, you did blues, man, and I'm a really big fan of yours. Can we just? And I brought a guitar. I'm thinking we're gonna hammered, and we're gonna sing Hank Jr. songs all night long, and then maybe tomorrow we'll get to some hunting. That's what I thought was gonna happen. Just a young 20-something-year-old kid, and he's like, no, you're here to hunt, brother, cousin. He called me cousin. Listen here, cousin. But he was just so funny that he pulled out this big bucket of grouper that he just caught with Kid Rock the week before, and he's like, I'm going to do the old family recipe of fried fish and everything. That time I hadn't been into hunting, and I didn't eat fish. I only ate Long John Silver's. This is a kid that was an idiot back then. I just got to tell you. So when he fried up all this fish, and he went through this explanation of his family recipe of this fish fry stuff, first piece he come out of the fry, he goes, how? Taste that, brother.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, man, this is better than Long John Silver's. And he's like, I can't believe that idiot just said that.
Got a shotgun rifle and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive.
So then he's going to show me how to call these turkeys. Because I have seen duck callers, which you kind of, whatever that is. Well, this thing, he hands me this striker. I didn't know it was a striker at the time. And he hands me the little drum. And he's like, hey, hang on to these and get that working if you can. I thought, which part of this do you kind of blow in, or how does this work? And he looked at me like, oh my God, I'm really sitting with an idiot. He's like, you take this pen hand and you put it on the drum and you chirp it, just like like that. And I'm like, oh no, that's on video. That's CMT's looking at me, figuring out I don't know what I'm doing. How do you hold a gun again? I don't know. I'm just here for the songs, man. I thought I was going to get hammered with Hank. But we got up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It was cold. And we went turkey hunting, and I was just like sitting there contemplating just all morning, just a little hungover. I'm like, the fish was great. I'm learning nothing. But it's with Hank. We're good. This is the funnest part of the thing. It was a long day. But
wow,
that was I ended up killing a turkey, which is a huge turkey, and that was an awesome deal. I had no idea how you killed him, but it's a long story. But I got a good one.
Okay.
And the first thing I did was I called my mom, and I said, Mother, on my way back home. That was a great experience. I now know a little bit about hunting. I spent a little time with Hank. He was great. He's freaking phenomenal. Just every bit the legend you think he is. And I killed my first turkey. And the first thing she did was, oh my God, that turkey probably had a family. That was like, just kind of stare off at the highway like, well, I'll never experience joy again, I don't think, because you just ruined my life. Just tell me all about that turkey I just killed. Had a job and had a family. His name was Steve.
Yeah. He's about to retire.
That's kind of the same problems I got sometimes. He thinks about stuff. You just killed him for no reason.
Wow.
Good job. Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Appreciate it.
How prepared is Joe Nichols for doomsday today?
More prepared than probably a lot of my friends. I went through a phase where I bought some of that 25-year food.
Yeah.
I was like, I think the end is near, guys. I think we need to buy, as a family, a lot of my, in-laws and everything. I'm like, I think you guys need to buy some of these things you can store for like 25 years. And maybe we'll bury it in like a big box car and buy some land and we'll put it. And I was like into that for a while, seriously hardcore. And then I kind of like, I think it's going to be okay. I think maybe I was just scared for a minute that things were going to fall apart, but I think it's going to be all right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Can't stop a sound and you can't make us run, 'cause we're them old boys raised on shotguns.
Tell me about this picture.
Oh yeah, that's a picture from Post's album release party. He invited me to come sing Broken Heartsville with him. He loves old school country music, and he loves that song. He said, "Man, I think that's one of the greatest country songs of all time." And he's a great dude, man. Such a genuine, nice guy. Like that was as soon as he came off stage. That picture right there, his first thing he did was come over and give me a big old hug. There's a room full of celebrities in there, and I'm like the least known person in the room. I just did a song, 45 minutes ago in his show, and I'm just hanging backstage like, well, let's get out of here. And then he's all of a sudden done, and there's Shane Gillis and these other people and all these celebrities back there. I'm like, I don't think I belong in this room. Blake was back there with Gwen, and he walks right over to me. He's like, "Oh man, killed it, love you." And I was like, "That's great. I appreciate it." And I'm kind of an early bird now, so I can get out of here. It's great.
Wow.
But he is such a genuine, nice, thoughtful guy. Like he really is a truly kind, thoughtful guy. And you don't meet that a lot. When you meet a megastar like that, sometimes they have handlers that kind of handle a lot of things, including your emotions and kind of letting you know your place.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the room with greatness, so just to let you know, don't talk to greatness directly.
Right.
Don't look him in the eye. And so I got none of that. And all the people that worked with him were all like the great people. So that's sometimes the truest test right there of who he is the people he has around him are all nice and all very kind and gracious and caring and thoughtful. And I thought, man, if I was that big of a star, that's how I'd want to be represented right there.
How many cool dad points did you get for that picture?
Dude, you know what's so great is when I first walked up to do sound check, and I totally realized what I was doing in the moment. I was like, I'm going to do it anyway, though. I walked up and I said, man, do you mind saying hello to my 10-year-old and 12-year-old because, they really need to pick me up. School is rough. It's rough on both of them. And I was like, do you mind just saying hi? And I was like, God, I feel so sorry that just did that. And he's like, yeah, hell yeah. And so he gets on this FaceTime. He records this video with me. We're recording this video like a selfie style. And he's like, I just want to tell you kids that, your dad's great and you're this, and we're going to kick ass. I'm like, they can't show that to their friends. I can't send it to them. And they're like, look, they're kicking ass.
Right.
It's like they're going to show their 5th grade class that. The teacher will take their phone.
Edit it.
Yeah.
That is so cool, man.
Take daddy's word for it. He said that.
Doing Life with You, another song on the record. It sounds like you recorded with your wife of mine.
Yeah.
Does she light up when you sing songs about her?
Yeah. She really loved this one. First time she heard it made her cry, actually, because she knows it's been a challenge. We've been married over 17 years now, and there's been a lot of really great in there. There's been a lot of really difficult stuff in there, and that song talks about the highs and lows, and it's when she puts that all together, when she put it all together for the first time listening to that song, she's like got big old tears in her eyes, and I'm like, don't cry, you're making me cry, stop it. But it's a very sweet song, yeah.
Does anyone say it reminds them of Gentle on My Mind?
That's exactly right, yeah. That's kind of what we were going for. I think that's the way Jimmy Urey wrote that, and that's kind of the way he wrote it, just kind of that talk through the verse, tell a story, and I think it's really cool. Have that rolling guitar behind it. Beautiful song, man. I love Gentle on My Mind.
As a girl dad, are you? Is there any songs that you're a convert to that you're embarrassed about?
Man, you know what? My kids are oddballs like me. They're oddball in the cutest ways. I mean, my 10-year-old's favorite song is a song by a group called Aha from the 80s.
Yeah.
Take on Me. That's her favorite song.
What?
I know. She's 10. I'm like, you weren't even around. I wasn't even around.
Yeah.
But that's her favorite song, man. And we made it her walk-up song. Theme song when she walked up in softball. Like, all right, take on me. Here we go.
That's great.
But she loves that. And my 12-year-old's favorite song is Tears for Fears. Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Wow.
I know. And they like the old country stuff. They say, Dad, can you put on something really cool? Like I drive them to school every morning when I'm at home. And I'll play random stuff. I'll play Michael Jackson, play Otis Redding. I'll play Merle. I'll play Bob Wills. I'll play all kinds of stuff and tell them exactly what this was. So they have a real understanding of what music is, not just this is what Dad does, and the music Dad does is the only thing that matters or exists.
Right.
And so I give them the full library of stuff that I appreciate, and so they have this understanding of old stuff that's very unusual. I'm sure it's unusual to their friends, but they just get into stuff and they know the stories behind the songs and stuff.
That's great, though, man. That's great.
It's the best 25 minutes of the day, driving them to school and explaining music to them and how records were and what kind of artist that was and how they ended up and all that kind of stuff.
Look at that. We're going to have some dad country songs coming from Joe. I can feel it.